Just hit record. You know what I'm saying? Photo op. Cheese. How I'm looking with the whiteys. I've been working on my whitey. You know what I'm saying? Whitey gotta go with the look. You know what I'm saying? I already told y'all I got fucking excuse me for cursing, you know what I'm saying? But I got wardrobe, makeup, and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta make sure that whitey's is good, you know what I'm saying? About to get me some veneers or something, you know what I'm saying? I could do veneers, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I need them, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little grating down, you know what I'm saying? Like in the West Indian culture, we call it, grater. You know what I'm saying? You know what a grater is? It's that metal. You know what it is, right? It's that grater. You just grate. So I might need them to just grate my teeth down, make it look like it's supposed to look. You know what I'm saying? I'm already working on the whitening. Yeah. Jesus. Woo! All right. So I like how this mic is sounding, man. I be sounding real nice on this joint right here, man. I sound like a DJ. Mr. DJ-ish. You know what I mean? Former life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Turn that up a little bit. I'm gonna need a little more volume on that. That's where we at with it. Woo! That's where we at with it. Okay, so we talking about time. Is your time valuable? Is your time valuable? Wow. That's an interesting subject. Interesting. All right, photo op. Yeah, boom. I'm over here on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Do a little photo op like this. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I'm sitting up right. You know what I'm saying? Looking over here. Take a shot, look over here. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel great, man. Like, sometimes I'm misunderstood, and I don't mean no harm, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, never, ever, you know what I'm saying? It's my intent to harm or to have people feel a way, you know what I'm saying? But just understand my way, you know what I'm saying? If you understood my way, then perhaps you wouldn't feel a way. I'm just saying, something to think about, And don't get me twisted, man. It's not just one-sided. It's not just lopsided, I need to be aware of how others feel and how I make others feel. You know what I'm saying? Real life shit. So, to the intro. Yes, sir. Every time I hear this. Welcome to Brooklyn's Finest Entrepreneurs. I just get hyped. Podcast for future business owners. Shout out to Easy Chills, my son. I'm your host, Earl A. Conway, where we discuss the details, trials, tribulations, mindset, and the journey it takes to you being your own boss.
For your dead friends, hey, look, I got dead presidents, hey, blue honey, blue honey, blue honey, hey, blue honey, blue honey, blue honey, hey, blue honey, blue honey, blue honey. Blue honey, blue honey.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode number 8, man. Woo! We moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. I always get off a topic, right? Because when I start, it be so much flowing into my mind that I just be off topic. You know what I'm saying? But then it connects to what the topic is, so it all be making sense. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want y'all to get sidetracked, even though sometimes I sidetrack myself, you know what I'm saying? But I bring it all in. You know what I'm saying? I bring it all home. You know what I mean? So today episode is wow. It's about time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we really know about time? You know what I'm saying? Like, time? Because, when we say time, we really be thinking like, time is, I I think that we don't really look into time as we should. That's what that's what the first thought. Me included, right? I don't, sometimes, I don't really look into time, right? As I should. So this episode is about time, right? Is your time valuable, right? Is my time valuable, right? So we're going to get into the definition of what time is, right? Only because, right, this is like fact checking, right? Because we use words all the time, like I always say, or as you hear me saying a lot. But I think the important thing is to make sure that we understand the definitions of the words that we're using, so we're able to use them correctly and not be so nonchalant, unaware of when we're using them and how we're using them, right? So, time, definition of time. So the definition of time is the continued progress of existence, whether it pertains to our past, our present, or our future, right? So I want that to sink in a little bit, right? So collectively, what time is pretty much the continued progress of whatever is existing or had existed from the past, our present, and our future. So what really is time, and how should we use it? So when we think about our past as it pertains to time, okay, you think about, okay, damn, what have I used time for in my past? What have I given my time to in the past, right? So let's just talk past, right? And normally when we talk past, past have this stigma around it where it's just filled with a bunch of regrets, right? Anything in your past cannot be valuable, or so we think, to our present and our future. You know what I'm saying? Because it has this undertone of it being bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was past, or that's past tense, or like, yo, I left that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, past is just as important. You know what I'm saying? The experiences in our past, right, is what actually enables us to have a present, right? So they all correlates with each other all the time. They're all intertwining all the time. So it's very important that we understand that, from a time aspect, that our past is valuable. Our time in the past is valuable. Our time in the present is even more valuable, right? Now, future, we can't really dictate or know what future times looks like, because we don't know if we even have time in the future. But if we are optimistic and looking forward to some things, or accomplishing some things, or having our business at a certain place or level in the near future, then time can also be valuable because it pulls us, right? It can be used as a tool where it pulls us, right? Where it creates an existence of progress, or the progress that exists in it allows us to have a future, right? To look into the future or the near future. The flip coin of time being valuable and being purposeful, right, is that time can also be wasted. So when we think about past, present, and future, when it pertains to wasted time, what have we wasted time on in our past, right? What things in our past that we've given or sold time into that at this present moment, we like, yo, I wasted time on that. Or I could have allocated my time differently, more productively, more purposefully, right? Only standing here in the future, in the present now, can we say that, right? So it can also be wasted. Come to think about it, the more I meditate on wasted time, I don't really prescribe to the notion that we waste time. Because, okay, if we took time and we allocated it to something that wasn't beneficial to us, that wasn't moving us forward, that wasn't affecting our business, our entrepreneurship goals or journey or life, then I could understand where we may feel that it's wasted. But time is never wasted, because time can be used very, very valuably in terms of knowing what not to do anymore. And without not knowing what to do anymore and using that time to figure that out, then we don't know what we need to change or how we need to allocate that time in the present and moving forward. So I don't think I buy into the fact that, well, may not even be a fact, but I don't think I even buy into the notion that time is ever wasted. Whether or not it's being used wisely, now I think that's the bigger discussion. I believe that time is being used, whether it's being used for good or whether it's being used for bad. It still exists, It's something you can't get rid of, right? You can't get rid of it. Whether or not you like, the only thing we get to do is use it. And I'm okay with that, right? Because that gives me some form of control, right? If you don't have no control over your time, you know what I'm saying? If you don't even have the opportunity to control your time, then time will control you, right? And it would show up in the form of time just blowing by. And you like, oh shit, like where did the time go? Right? You ever been in a space, perhaps when you're having fun or when you're doing something that you're really, really passionate about or you're interested in, and it just seems like time just disappear? It's really not, it's still there. It's still there. But the fact that you're using it so productively, the fact that you're using it in the realm of progress, that it seems to not exist anymore. There's nothing we can do about time. There's nothing that we can do about time. Right? Time just exists. There's nothing we can do about gravity. Gravity just exists, right? But we have to know how to work within the parameters of gravity. We have to learn how to work in the parameters of time. The only say-so we have when it comes down to time is, like I've mentioned before, how we use it. Are we using it constructively or destructively, if that's a word? It just sounds like a word, right? But y'all know what I'm saying, right? It's either you're using it, right, to better yourself, better your situation, better your business, or you just using it and squandering it away. I'm a serious human being, right, about my time, especially now, right? Because I've squandered time. And I like to go a little bit deeper in my understanding of putting that label squander. So I want you to do the same thing too, because it's never a lose-lose situation. You know, even if you think that you squandered it or you've used it not productively, right? At the end of the day, what's beautiful about being able to look back into your past and how you've allocated your time is that no matter how you think about it, whether or not you wasted it or squandered it or you used it wisely or not, right? At the end of the day, there's lessons in good and bad usage of time that adds value to you, that shows up and that you can use in your present and that you can use to fuel your future. You understand what I'm saying? Time is everything to me. Like I said, especially at the age I'm at now in terms of experiences, right? Like, you know, like, yo, if I'm talking to somebody that don't value their time and I'm moving away and I realize that they don't value their time, then like there's a whole bunch of miscommunication and misunderstandings, right? I don't play with my time anymore because I don't know how much of it I have, right? It's a day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second thing. And I have to be strategic about how I'm using it to embetter myself, how I'm using it to embetter my family situation, or, I have to be conscious about what I'm doing with my time. When we're young or younger, we think that time just is forever because we living in the moment. There's nothing wrong with living in the moment, right? I actually encourage living in the moment. But we take for granted how much time we have, right? Because we're so wrapped up in the moment that sometimes the moment that we're living in affects what our future looks like. So it's a thin line between playing that past time experience with the existing that now correlates and predicts what our future time and existence and progress is going to look like or show up as. That sounded like it was confusing. But I know you get the gist of what I'm saying. I don't take time for granted anymore. I'm strategic about what I spend my time on. I'm aware of how fragile time is. I now respect it. I'm conscious even more about how much of it I have. We hear this term, time bank, right? I'm conscious about how much time I have or lack thereof in my time bank. So if there's uncertainty of how much time is stored in your time bank, you don't want to be playing with it. You don't want to be toying around with the unknown like that. All you know is that you have this time right now, this second, this moment in the present, and you need to be using it in accordance to progress. I direct my time to the things in my life that's most important to me. And still I fall short of that, right? Because it's not like, okay, I can just sit down and write down, okay, I'm going to spend this time with this. I'm going to do this time with this. And when it comes down to what's important to me in my life, right? And I'm going to do this time and time. Yes, you can write that out. But sometimes time is so, not even sometimes, it's so uncontrollable, right? That you might only be, let's say you have about 10 things on your list that's most important to you that you've written down, that you said, I'm going to spend and allocate my time to doing these things because these things are the most important things in my life, and I do not want to squander my time on anything else. You might only get to the 5th thing on that list before time has already took on a whole new life of its own, and when you check in, you're like, damn, I can't even get the other 5 things done because I ran out of time. You got to be careful about the words that you use. That's why definitions is so important, right? You don't want to ever say that you're running out of time, even though you know your time is numbered. You don't want to say that you're running out of time or you don't have time. Those type of words, it will create the atmosphere. Your life would be orchestrated where you have no time, where you are running out of time. I don't squander my time or waste my time on unproductive activities anymore. If I'm doing an activity, it has to be it has to make sense, right? Real life story. I was planning a trip to go down to Atlanta, right? I have the other half of my family lives in Atlanta. I used to live in Atlanta for about 6 years. And the other part of the family is down there. I haven't seen them. There's new family members and kids. And, I haven't had the opportunity to really bond with each and every one of them. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them at certain stages of their lives growing up. And then you have some new members coming in. So I haven't had that opportunity to do that. So I'm planning this trip to go down to Georgia. I also have a cousin that's in Charlotte that I wanted to stop. And I was going to drive, right? Because for me, driving allows me to get out of my surroundings because I'm always going to be thinking. I'm always going to be planning. But when I remove myself from the norm of my environment, I'm able to get, deeper into thoughts. And, I don't want to say it's hard to explain, but for me, I need to change up my environment sometimes to bring in new ideas. And driving where it's just the road, you're just seeing different things. It opens a conduit for ideas to come in. So I say all of that to say that I'm planning this trip and it has to make sense, right? Because when it comes down to time, I'm not squandering my time on unproductive things. So the fact that a road trip adds fuel to me, right? It gives me an opportunity to think, okay, that's value. That's not squandering, right? The fact that I'm able to go and spend time with the things on my list that's important to me, which is my family, right? That's valuable, right? And then I even went a bit further. I said, well, you know what? While I'm down in Charlotte, right? I know one or two business owners down there, maybe I'll interview them. I'll set up shop right there and interview them. When I get down to Atlanta, right? Since that's like my second home, the place that I spend like most of my outside of New York and Brooklyn, the place that I spend time in was Georgia. Okay, so I've built some business relationships in Atlanta. And some of those business relationships, since this is a Brooklyn-based entrepreneurship podcast, most of those people that's in Atlanta, in Georgia, originate from Brooklyn. And they have businesses out there now. So it all makes sense, right? I'm not squandering time. So in order for me to even be able to make that type of trip, I have to, it have to make sense to me when it pertains to the time it's going to take me to drive down there, right? Like, what am I going to get on the drive, right? What am I going to get once I get there? What is my time going to be spent on there, right? So it has to be spent on something productive. No more am I squandering time, right? I'm going to get a little bit more personal, right? Because I know, we have these things show up, right? Right now, I don't even have time to date. I can't. It's not that it's unproductive. It's just that where I'm at right now, and I don't like to say this, I don't have time for it. And now I know I know people say, okay, this is the saying. Well, you make time for what you want to make time for. And I totally agree. I don't want to make time for dating right now. It's too much time. I don't have the time for that type of responsibility, right? Like, I would love to be in the company of a beautiful woman. Just, just simple things, just shooting the breeze, watching movies. Like, I'm a homebody. I'd rather be in the house watching movies, you know what I'm saying? But if I need to go out and turn up, yeah, I could do that too. But what I would prefer is to just, I don't even know if I would prefer one or the other. I enjoy them both. I enjoy being out. I enjoy running the town. I enjoy being, the socialite. But I also enjoy just being home. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy just laying up, watching movies or get into a good series, Like, my cuddle game is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will cuddle you. You know what I'm saying? What's the other word I'm looking for? I would cuff you, Like, I'm the cuddling king, right? Nobody can cuddle better than me. Like, if I allocate my time to cuddling, like, yo, nobody could beat me in cuddling. Listen, this would be the best cuddling session you ever had. And I wouldn't even put session on the end of it because it will be the best cuddling experience you ever had. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's a mixture between cuddling and spooning and, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's all wrapped in one. It's crazy. But I don't want to allocate my time to that right now. And I don't think that there is someone at this moment that understands that, right? Because we all have our different things that we need right now. And what I may need or where I may be when it comes down to time and focus may not be where the person that I'm dating is, right? They might just be straight on Joe, dating, spending time, and da-da-da-da, right? There's a conflict of interest there, right? I've experienced this shit. Like, there's a big conflict of interest. You come over, we watching, I'm a big boxing fan. Okay, we watching boxing, right? You come through, we watch the fight, you know what I'm saying? There's the undercards and, the main event and like this, it's at least like 5 hours, right? Eat, sipping, talking, chilling, whatever. Fight is over, you know what I'm saying? We may or may not do something, right? But like, after that, if I have something to do in the morning, like, we got to bring this party to a closure. So if I'm dating someone that's not allocating their time in accordance to how important and how I allocate my time and how I'm using my time, and it's not meshing, then they might just want to party all night. What they have to do in the morning may not be important or as important to them. Whereas, listen, okay, I can party, have fun. Okay, we did that. We cuddled. Something may or may not have happened after that. Turned up. But yo, let's lock it down now. Because I got things to do in the morning. I have a routine that I have to stick to in the morning. I have time that needs to be allocated in the right places for me to be able to progress. And if you're not on that, then yeah, that's why it's difficult for me to date right now. Maybe I need to date someone that's serious about their time. Like let me feel like you ain't got no time for me. I want to feel like that. I don't want to always feel like the other person's like, dang, yo, you ain't got no time for me. You too busy. No, I mean, let me feel like that. I think that's the person that would be great for me to date. So these are the questions that you should be asking. What do time mean to me? You should be asking yourself that. Because regularly we don't get to ask ourselves that. What do time mean to me? Am I playing with my time? Am I playing with my time? Am I taking time for granted? That's a big one. Am I taking time for granted? Am I strategic and intentional about what I spend my time on? Whoa. Am I strategic and intentional about what I spend my time on? Am I aware of how fragile time is? Do I respect time and the time of others? Because that's a big one. You know, you can't expect to have someone respect your time when you don't respect their time. You know, most of the times, like I'm super over respectful of other people's time because I want them to respect my time. So I initiate like, yo, I respect your time. I really appreciate your time because you could be doing anything else, you know? And I want you to feel like I really and truly and sincerely respect your time and how you're spending it with me. But at the same token, you know, if I say, yo, I got to get up and I got to make moves and, yo, I can't just be, yo, I got to get some rest. Like, I want that same respect and understanding. I'm sure you do too. But in order to receive it, you have to give it. Right? And sometimes we think we're giving it and we're not. So we have to be intentional about giving people and honoring people for their time because they could be doing something else with someone else. Have I thought about how much time or lack thereof I have stored in my time bank? Do I even know, like, there is a time bank, right? And it's sort of like mysterious, right? We know it exists. There is a time bank. We know that there's a time on our life, on our existence, but we don't know how much, right? So I'm not saying, okay, you know, you have to be a mathematician, you know, a scholar, Einstein, and figure out how much time you have, because you will never do that. I will never do that. But just being aware and conscious of the fact that there is a time bank that exists on each one of our lives, and it's important to know that we don't even know how much is in there. What activities have we squandered our time on? And don't take that in a negative or with a negative tone. Because like I said before, we may have thought that we squandered time when it pertains to our past. But there's value in the experiences of how we have used time. How can you use time, past, present, and future, to progress in life? How can we do that? Here's a takeaway. Let's be very, very, very intentional on what we spend time on. Let's be very, very focused, observant, aware of what we spend time on. Remember that time is the collective of past, present, and future. And it should be used in the sole purpose with things that's important to us and the people that's important to us. I'll leave you guys with this quote from the famous motivational speaker. Some of you may have heard of him, some of you may not, of Jim Rohn, right? If you haven't heard of him, look him up on YouTube, right? Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn says, time is more important than money. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. I remix that quote. My quote is, time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you can't get back the time you've wasted. Right? Time is more valuable than money. You could get more money, but you can't get back the time that you've squandered. If you're aware enough, conscious enough, you're able to pull the lessons, the experiences out of that so-called squandered or wasted time to create a better present and a better future to look forward to. Till next time, Brooklyn finest entrepreneurs.
For your dead friends, hey, look, I got dead presidents, hey, look, for your dead friends, hey, look, I got dead presidents, hey.
Till next time, change your mindset, change your reality. Brooklyn finest entrepreneurs.
Blue honey, blue honey, blue honey, blue honey.